This is bad television. A primary theme of season six is of ownership, of autonomy, really magnifies in the first episode of the season where, well, I think the whole season, ownership and trauma are probably the largest themes expressed and entertained. Ownership with the dolls, it comes into like it's very focused on these girls are objectified. These girls are made into objects, into playthings in an actual dollhouse. While I was watching season six, I was thinking about all of the tropes that it has done and all the tropes that it hasn't. You know, the tropes of teen drama. I'm a lot more interested in the tropes of teen drama that the show um, explored and fell into and did more than suspense or mystery, honestly. But I was like, man, we haven't got a love triangle. That's interesting. I kind of dig the fact that some guy hasn't come between this like super tight knit group of girls, like sisters basically. And this season does that with Caleb and Hannah and Spencer. So, you know, never mind. Another trope that the show, I don't know, there might be like a flashback to it in the seventh and final season of the show, but we didn't see the graduation this season. You didn't see the girls graduate high school, which kind of sucks because we saw how much hell they went through in high school, like to survive and to be able to get there to graduation. Graduation, you know, it might not have meant a lot to me or to you, like personally experiencing it, but it's it's very rewarding for characters in teen dramas like Veronica Mars and Dawson's Creek and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's a, a victory, however small it might seem. It's a victory for our heroes, and I feel kind of like robbed that we didn't get graduation. They just did a time jump instead, and oh my God, this time jump is done so poorly that it's miserable. One Tree Hill. It makes One Tree Hill look effortless and graceful. It makes One Tree Hill's fifth season look like a ballet. You know, One Tree Hill did a time jump, and a time jump, I guess, is also now, thanks to One Tree Hill, like a trope of teen drama doing a time jump. And One Tree Hill did it well, did it a hell of a lot better than Pretty Little Liars did. In the first half of the season, because it is split up in tens, 10 episodes to wrap up the big A storyline, and then a time jump, and then 10 episodes to kind of get us hooked on another mystery, I guess the show's final mystery, which would make you think that the show is structured well, but it's not at all. It's incredibly misguided in its structure, even though 10 episodes and 10 episodes sounds like a very reasonable structure to attach your teen drama mystery to. The show fumbles the ball completely. This show fucks that up entirely. In the first half, we do get a lot of Spencer and Hannah together. We get that dynamic, and it's very funny. I adore the ways that Belisario and Benson play off each other, which kind of sucks that we kind of pin them against each other in the second half of the season. I think that certain things are meant to be inverted in the second half of the season. It's just done so poorly that it loses all of its poetry. Like I think the idea of showing us so much of Spencer and Hannah together in the first half of the season and their humorous, very funny kind of dynamic, and then kind of pitting them against each other with Caleb in the center in the second half of the season is a fool's errand, honestly. It doesn't have any power. And if it's about inverting a dynamic that was established in the first half of the season by turning it upside down, in the second half, it's just entirely unnecessary and uninteresting. I don't think the show is equipped to properly handle and explore trauma. Just like the way that the show handles mystery, Pretty Little Liars is more interested in the mechanics of drama than drama itself. It's far more dedicated to cinematically exploiting trauma than investigating it emotionally, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it is arguably insincere and definitely shallow. By the way, The same exact criticism can be said of how the show treats trans representation and trans women. Oh, CC Drake. What a stupid fucking idea. An entirely unfair mystery, too. Like, how can I suspect that Cece is a suspect? Like, how can I be suspect of Cece if she's not there to be investigated by your audience? Like, you can't just bring someone back after not seeing them for like two fucking seasons and be like, oh, it's her. Like, off. You can't do that. But in all honesty, I stopped trying to figure out the mystery, I think, in the first season, because I'm like, no, this show is dedicated to the mechanics of suspense and mystery storytelling rather than the mystery itself. It's interested in the mechanics. It's interested in how it can fool its audience. It's interested in all of the genre tropes of mystery that the show can kind of entertain itself with. Uh, but the idea that Cece is this trans villain is more than cliched. It's more than a trope. It's a toxic cliche and a toxic trope, which is kind of fine, right? Because a large part of Pretty Little Liars is exploitation, but I always thought that a larger part of Pretty Little Liars was um, borderline feminist in a large way. I mean, these are very powerful girls, very strong and unique girls who have this bond, this unbreakable bond that like the patriarchy that men that I can't even begin to comprehend. You can't really comprehend the sisterhood of women. You really can't. And I guess it's unbreakable and it's life or death. And the young teenage girl experience is one of surveillance, one of being constantly targeted and punished for simply surviving your teenage years. Like that's the power and the strength of Pretty Little Liars, and it does play with these B movie archetypes and concepts. I just think that like it normally plays with them in a better way, right? Because when you reintroduce, I think, a terribly destructive trans stereotype from B movies into the 2010s teen drama landscape, it's entirely misguided and I think severely stupid. I think that the idea of CC Drake being this big bad A, being like Charles Drake, I guess, or sorry, Charles De Laurentiis being um Allison's long lost psychopathic kid brother turned trans woman, is entirely fucking hurtful, and it does nothing for the story. It's not saying anything political or philosophical or emotional even. All it's doing is exploiting trans representation um, for their own cinematic ends, for their own cinematic purposes. It's exploiting trans representation to be kind of sensationalist within your mystery, and then you kind of lose the teen drama part of it. Yeah, you kind of lose that which is sensitive. And I really just did not enjoy that at all. I think it was a very poorly designed mystery. And this being like a show that is kind of very, very obsessed with itself, specifically obsessed with the mechanics of mystery storytelling. To see it be this sloppy and this kind of irresponsible with its framing of its villain is, I think, outrageous. I think it's outrageous. Guys, guys, I'm not even mad about CC. I'm mad about this, what I'm gonna say right now. Where's Jenna? Jenna has rights, okay, and I have needs. No Jenna in season 6 is actual real insanity. Why not? Why not? Why isn't she here? She's my favorite thing about the entire show, and she's the only thing that is a genius thing about the show. The best contribution that Pretty Little Liars made to the teen drama art form is Jenna. Why isn't she here? This is a whole season without the coolest, the hottest, the sexiest, the most stylistically uh, captivating character. Why? Why? Why are you keeping Jenna from me? The fuck is wrong with you, I Marlene King? Okay? Where's Jenna? Why wasn't she here? You crushed my dreams and my spirit. I'm gonna go run face first into every car in the parking lot, out of protest because I need Jenna. All right, that's my fucking dream girl, and she is so amazing on the show. What she represents, it's a genius contribution to the art form. Oh my God, watch my previous videos if you haven't already, because I can't get enough of Jenna. I think she's cinematically infatuating. I think she's so captivating. And not having her in season 6 just adds insult to injury because it's already a terrible season of television. And now I just feel like you're insulting me personally. It's a personal attack not having Jenna here. Fuck you. Wow, that was heated. Okay, let me go to my notes. Let's keep it scripted. Can't go off script on this season because I fucking really hated it. Oh, here's a good note. Hold up. Emoji. Emoji. Yeah, because that's what they call the new A in the second half of the season. I think that's the biggest giveaway that it is Ali's mother as emoji because only old fucking people use that many emojis in text messages. That should have been your dead giveaway. Hold up. Emoji is out there killing eggs. He's holding Emily's eggs for ransom, holding her feminine autonomy, anatomy even for ransom. That's kind of interesting. And it's very wicked. Yeah, I thought that that was a piece of misfortune of kind of like brutality that hit. I was like, okay, I'm playing with this metaphor. I like that we're making it like this, like A has now robbed Emily of her feminine nature. I think that's incredible. It's incredibly fucked up, but that's one of the few things that this season did that I thought actually landed and that I found like pretty striking. Once you get acclimated to the narrative jet lag, the show is actually pretty boring after the time jump. Sarah Harvey is a stupid character. Let's go back to Jenna. Please. It's the only thing I enjoy talking about this show anymore. Jenna had presence. Sarah has nothing. No power, no style. Nothing is felt when she appears. I choose black sunglasses over black gloves. Poor substitute for what Jenna brought to the show. And yes, I do feel like Sarah Harvey was poorly, sloppily occupying the same archetypal space in season 6 that is normally occupied by Jenna. I fucking hate Sarah Harvey. Just reminds me of Jenna. And Jenna could do Jenna could steal a scene without saying a fucking word. That's how powerful her physical poetry was. This is the most revealing sequence of the show. There's a sequence where we see a binary montage of ones and zeros representing a text Hannah has sent to the villain. We see, God, we see satellite dishes, we see cell phone towers, we see all these ones and zeros just spiraling outwards. This show has lost the plot. If we are this cinematically invested in the mechanics of communication, of narrative, the show's about misplaced guilt. It's bad ideas, bad writing, bad execution, bad structure, bad season. If this show is this obsessed with I think that montage of the ones and zeros from Hannah's text being sent to a emoji, I, I I think that that's the most revealing sequence in the entire sixth season of Pretty Little Liars because it shows just how obsessed this show has become with the mechanics of communication. Like Like we have lost the plot so far that we are now obsessed with the binaries of zeros and ones from cell phone towers. Like we're that obsessed now with just the mechanics of communication of the narrative and how that narrative is communicated. It's nonsense, honestly. It's nonsense. The show has lost the plot entirely. And Allie's mother is still alive. Death means fucking nothing in this universe. It really doesn't mean anything. Everything's reversible. This is such a poorly written season of television that I do find it very, very, very insulting. And I think destroys in one fell swoop all of the goodwill that could have possibly been gleaned from the first 5 seasons, most of which I have a lot of issues with, right? Like I'm not even a huge fan of all 5 previous seasons, but that shit looks like Shakespeare now compared to where we are in season 6. I'm thankful that there's only one more season because it it is not often that a show takes this severe of a nosedive. And season 6 of Pretty Little Liars, I think, is one of the most embarrassing failures that I've witnessed in covering teen dramas. It's embarrassing. I can't even really take it seriously. But I'll be back in a week to talk about season 7. If Jenna's not there, I swear to God, I will burn this entire place to the ground. I think. I think that's what I'll do. Thank you for watching.